Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, blurs and nerds, freaks and geeks, this is the podcast, Do You Speak Geek? I am your host, Nix. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been an absolute ride to get here, but y'all, we are here. Thank you all for tuning in. If you want to stay abreast of what's going on with Do You Speak Geek, you can always follow us on our social medias. You can check us out on Facebook at DYSG Media. You can hit us up on Twitter at underscore Do You Speak Geek or on Instagram at Do You Speak Geek. YouTube, there will be a very soon approaching format where we will give you all video and audio when it comes to Do You Speak Geek. That will be coming very, very soon. Also on YouTube, you can check out the Daddy and Dono show. We have a few episodes of that up already, so check that out. Let us know what you think. Subscribe, like, hit that bell to turn on all notifications, and of course, leave comments. We want to know what you all think. The doyouspeakgeek.com, it is coming soon, so be on the lookout for that. Also, Patreon is coming soon, so be on the lookout for that as well. I'm trying to think of something special to do for you all when it comes to the Patreon page, so keep your eyes out. Now, this whole entire show, this podcast, this YouTube, the whole Do You Speak Geek movement, it is dedicated to the memory, to the legacy, and the influence of Stan Lee. Last year on November 12th, we lost Stan Lee. As we all know, Stan Lee was a very integral part, if not the biggest part, for creating the blurs and nerds and freaks and geeks that we all know and love, the ones we associate with, the ones who have gone on to become casting directors, writers, producers, for all this content that we love. Stan Lee has influenced them in some kind of way. Whether you have just read comics your whole life or you're the only kind of person who watches stuff on television or movies, it's because of Stan Lee's influence that you are now a part of it. When I got the news that Stan had died, I got to admit I was crushed. But at the same time, Stan lived a full life. Stan was born on the 28th of December in 1922, I believe. So yeah, Stan lived a full life. A life full and a life worth living. I'm going to be celebrating his birthday every day. I'm going to call it Excelsior Day, where I just take the time and just do things and just be as geeky and as nerdy as I possibly can, all for the memory of Stan. So this show, Do You Speak Geek, is forever dedicated to the memory, legacy, and influence of Stan Lee. Thank you, Generalissimo. We will miss you, and we will not let you down. So without further ado, let's speak geek. I'm going to get a sounder for that. Eventually, I'm going to get a sounder for a lot of stuff. I'm going to get a song done. Again, it's episode 1, so you guys stay close with me, all right? So, major news. Big news coming out this week. Disney's acquisition of Fox is now complete and final, people. This is a big deal right here. A lot of us have been waiting for this to happen. It is here, and it is now. Now, there was a big press release that was put out by the Walt Disney Group, as they are calling themselves now. The official press release was put out. 20th Century Fox announces completion of distribution in connection with the Disney acquisition from New York. This was March 19th, 2019. Just to give you all a few ideas of what to expect, the acquisition of Fox not only includes all of the Fox properties like Fox News and the ESPN Plus streaming service coming soon, but it also will mean a huge stake in Hulu as well. Now that I didn't know. Disney is a really, really, really big deal right now with things they're taking over. Now, as we all know, what does this mean for us geeks and us nerds? You guys already know. With the way that we have been waiting and just clamoring for this thing to happen, for to see Wolverine finally battle Hulk, to finally see the meeting of the great minds of Tony Stark and Reed Richards, for us to finally see the Silver Surfer and Galactus the way they should be seen on the big screen. We're not going to count Fantastic Four 2. It was great, but it could have been better. But we finally get to see these stories happen. We may even see a Avengers versus X-Men story happen on the big screen. We're very excited about this. Um, it just simply means that we are finally going to be getting the quality and content that the MCU brings with things that are cosmic and mutant. And it's a very exciting time. I'm hyped. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully they'll give us a little tease of something at the end of Endgame, but we shall see. Other big news, James Gunn is back to direct Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Now, as we all know, James Gunn was fired from Guardians of the Galaxy 3 some while back for some old tweets. Some things he said that he shouldn't have said back in the day, but nonetheless, he said them. So Disney chose to give him the axe. Fast forward to a couple of days ago, Disney has said, okay, we need you back. I guess Kevin Feige wasn't having it. We all know Dave Bautista wasn't having it. So they brought him back. And not only is he back to direct Guardians of the Galaxy 3, folks, he's still going to be directing and rebooting, from what I hear, the Suicide Squad film, the next one. I really don't know how I feel about him dipping in two pots, if I may. You know, with him doing the Marvel thing and him doing the Suicide Squad thing. And not only the Suicide Squad thing, with the whole rebooting, you know, I'm one of those people who actually somewhat enjoyed Suicide Squad. I enjoyed it. I liked it. Was it the best DC movie? Not really. Was it the best comic movie? Absolutely not. But I still enjoyed it for what it was. Margot Robbie did a great job as Harley Quinn. Will Smith was dope as Deadshot. The movie was okay. I don't think it needs to be completely scrapped and done all over again. But at the same time, we do have James Gunn directing, and we've seen what he does. We've seen what he has done with an ensemble cast before with Guardians 1 and 2. Let's just see what he has to do. I'm interested, and let's see what happens. Other big news. Google has finally announced their video game streaming service. It's called Google Stadia. It's the plural for stadium, I guess. This is, from what I saw, it looks pretty dope. It's cross-platform supported, with cross saves and progression that can be transferred to other platforms. So basically, that's meaning that it's going to be able to be transferred from, you can play this on your PC, your desktop, your tablet, your phone. I'm not sure if they're going to have it for any sort of like streaming services where like with the Fire Stick or anything like that. But maybe the Chromecast that may be involved. Now, there's no need of a console. However, they are giving people this Wi-Fi controller, and it's going to have some voice activation capabilities. So let's see how that goes. As far as specs goes, there are rumored to say it can launch from a Chrome browser in about 5 seconds, giving you guys eventually 4K and 8K support. But for right now, they are definitely saying that they're going to give you full 1080p. 60 frames per second. The teraflops are 10.7. As we all know, that is more powerful than PS4 Pro's 4.2, and Xbox One X is 6.0. So this is going to be a very powerful piece of work here for this video game streaming service. It supports and allows players to never leave the game. Look something up, so you can be in mid play while you're doing your thing, while you're streaming your game, and you can be Googling your homework. I think that's pretty cool. But one of the biggest concerns, like myself and maybe a lot of other people are concerned about, is ISP support. If this game system, this whole gaming streaming service is going to be as dope as they say it's going to be, is there an ISP out there powerful enough to support it? We shall see. Who knows what the case will be? But I dig it. I'm not a streaming guy myself. I just do prefer consoles over anything else. That's just how I am. I'm old school like that. But I'm interested to see what it's gonna be like. Hopefully it'll be awesome, and hopefully you guys will like it. Of course, I expect bugs. I expect problems in the beginning, so I'm not gonna jump on right away. But we'll definitely see what's gonna happen. I mean, it's Google. You really never know sometimes. All right, so we're gonna jump right into the next bit of our show, and I call this the source wall. Now, the source wall is where I talk about the one reason of why we all love this stuff, and that is the comics. The source of the material that you all see on TV, the source of the material that you all see on the big screens. It's the comics, people. You got to know where you're from so you don't forget where you're at, and so you know where you're going. No one made that quote up. I don't know who said that. I could have just made that up, but we'll see. So, DC's hot picks. This week we got Justice League Volume. I'm not sure what volume they're in right now. I believe it's Volume 5, maybe even 4 right now. But we've got issue number 20. It's part 2 of this new arc called Sixth Dimension. Basically, we've got Mr. Mxyzptlk. He's back. He's causing some mischief. And in the meantime, during this process, the Justice League have met their future selves. And their future selves seem to have a grip on the world. Not as in a totalitarian, post-apocalyptic, military, anarchy-like regime. They seem to have everything figured out. And this Superman, quote unquote, is a little suspicious. But we will see what happens with that. A lot of interesting characters are in this. There seems to be this Flash, and he's a little different. He's a little different. Also, the Robin is very different in this one as well too. But you guys check that one out. Let me know what you think. We also got Teen Titans 28. That came out this week as well. With Teen Titans, this is the beginning of the Terra Minus agenda. It seems as though the Teen Titans, namely Robin, Damian Wayne Robin, is sick of Deathstroke's stuff. He is had it up to say here with Deathstroke, and he is going to dispatch Titans to take this guy down and possibly take this guy out. If you read any of the previous stories within Titans and Deathstroke here recently, there was a Lazarus story, the Lazarus contract, which kind of kicked off a little bit of this. Deathstroke eventually got in Robin's head, but isn't Deathstroke always getting in some Robin's head? Isn't that kind of his MO at this point? Whether you want to call him Deathstroke or Slade, he has a thing for Robin. Whoever has the mantle of Robin, he's gonna get in their head, and there's no different here. It's out now. That's all I got by way of DC. Marvel, we got a double dose of some Spider-Man this week. One of the Spider-Man books we have is Marvel's Spider-Man: A City at War. It's the first comic from their Gamerverse imprint. As many of you have out there already done so and gone through it, the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man game. This story is based on that. Now, from what I understand, if you have played the game completely and thoroughly, you're not going to really miss out on anything. However, once they get past this one arc, we may see them continue on with this character. Maybe even give you a glimpse of what to expect from the second game coming out on PS4. So, if nothing else, check it out. The art looks pretty decent. Then you got Spider-Man Life Story. Now, this book is interesting. So basically what we got here with this one, the number one issue, it's Spidey's life story being told, starting from Amazing Fantasy 15 when he was 15 years old and becoming Spider-Man for the first time. What we're going to see from this story arc, from this story, life story, is to see him age in real time. So at this point, Spider-Man would have been in his, 57 years have passed. He'd be in his 70s today. So they're going to outline that and also pepper in real events that have happened in our lives since Spider-Man became Spider-Man. I think it's going to be interesting. I've read it. I loved it. Chip Zdarsky, sir, you did an awesome job with the writing on this. I can't wait to read more. It's going to be awesome. I look forward to grabbing the final graphic novel as well too, and keeping the issues put away. You know, if you're a real comic book collector, that's what you do. You put your issues away, and you let people read your trades. You know, you let people hold those, whatever you decide to do. Other noteworthy ones coming out of Marvel, we got Guardians of the Galaxy #3. Evidently, Thanos is on his way back. If you read Infinity Wars, you know that Gamora beheaded the Mad Titan. So there's that. And evidently he's on his way back. So we're going to see what's going on there. Also, we got Uncanny X-Men 14. We're getting Marvel's premier team getting back on track. They've got Wolverine back. They've got Cyclops back. Jean's been back for a hot little minute. Let's see what they do here. Other releases, I got a couple out of Dark Horse. We're looking at Invisible Kingdom #1. It looks very interesting. The book is done by G. Wilson, and the art's done by Christian Ward. It looks very awesome. The book is out this week. It looks pretty good. I read it. You know, of course, I'm not a huge science fiction type reader, but it looks awesome. I'll let you guys check it out. Also, out of Dark Horse, we have BRPD, The Devil You Know 14. We basically have Hellboy back with the BPRD after 17 years of being away. Hellboy's pretty popular right now. Guys, check that out. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, hit me on social media. Let me know what you think about that as well, too. In other news about comics, we have DC announcing Superman Year One. Now, we've all read and loved Batman Year One. So, Superman Year One, it's being written by Frank Miller. We all know Frank. And it's being drawn by John Romita Jr. Great artist there. It's set to start being pushed out sometime, I believe, in, in June, in large format periodicals. and then keep pushing those out all the way, I believe, up until November. The art looks good. I like what they're doing with the art so far. With Frank Miller writing for Superman, we'll see. Not one of my favorite characters I like him writing for, but let's see what he does. Frank Miller has really never let me down before. So we'll see what he does with the big Boy Scout, if you will. Also, Marvel is teasing or hinting that we're going to get a return of Jonathan Hickman to come back and do a story, maybe a couple of stories or some sort of an arc for Marvel. Now, Jonathan Hickman, if you all know, he is a guy who has done some pretty big things here lately. He did Secret Wars, Secret Warriors. He's a pretty big deal over there at Marvel. So he's evidently coming back to do some things, and I'm looking forward to it. I've enjoyed everything he's done so far, and we're going to be glued here at Do You Speak Geek to see what he's going to do back at Marvel. Now, let's transition into our next segment. I call it Watch This. This is where we talk about our TV and movie stuff. Big news so far this week. We got a triple dose in trailers. Triple dose in trailers this week. We got Stranger Things 3. We got Toy Story 4. And Tarantino's 9th film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Stranger Things 3. The trailer is okay. I thought it was okay. It didn't leave me like, oh my God, I'm ready to see this. I need to see it right now. Come on, Netflix, give me an episode. This trailer didn't really do it for me like the other ones have before. But no less, I'm interested. I'm definitely ready to see these kids all grown up. Seeing them all grown up, man. I mean, I'm a dad myself, so seeing them all kind of, they're not grown up, but they're teenagers, and I'm just like, no, I want you to stay a kid. But that's just my take on it. Coming out on July 4th. I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think about it once we do. I may even do a review for that. Toy Story 4. I think the people at Pixar are determined to make adults cry with this one. Toy Story 4, the official trailer was released. I have vowed to not go see this movie. Not because I think it's going to be horrible. I think it's going to be amazing, like all the other ones have been. I just don't want to be a 38-year-old man in there crying my eyes out. I just don't want to do it. I don't have time for that kind of thing. I don't want to eat tear-soaked popcorn, if you will. But nonetheless, I think Toy Story 4 is going to be dope. It's always been dope. I have enjoyed all three, the previous ones, and I think this one is not going to be any less awesome. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, this is one that a lot of people have been waiting on for a trailer. Like I said, it's Tarantino's 9th film. Tarantino managed to get Brad Pitt and Leo DiCaprio for this one in lead roles. We've also got Margot Robbie in this one. This is based back in the day during the Manson murders. And I think it's going to be pretty awesome. I love Tarantino, what he did with Inglourious Basterds, where he kind of took real events and kind of did his own thing. I think he's going to do that here again with this one. So I'm interested to see what it's going to be like. I'm definitely going to be there first day to see this one. Also, in more TV news, we've got DC Universe's streaming service, their show Titans. I'm not sure if you guys have watched Titans, but if you have not watched Titans, please go watch Titans. It is amazing. When it comes to their season 2 coming up soon, they have cast Jericho and Ravager. Now, these are two characters who are pretty integral to the Teen Titans lore. As you know, if you do read the comics, Jericho and Ravager are the son and daughter of Deathstroke. Now, Deathstroke has also already been cast in this new show upcoming, and he's going to be played. I forget the guy's name. It's Isai Morales. Yeah, Isai Morales. He's playing Deathstroke. Who we have for Ravager is a young lady by the name of Chelsea Zhang. Now, if you have children who watch the Andy Mack series, she's gonna look familiar. She plays Brittany on the show. She's been cast to play Ravager. I think that's gonna be an awesome look. Also, when it comes to Jericho, we have another up and coming actor by the name of Chella Man. I hope I'm saying that right. And he'll be playing Jericho. As we know, Jericho is a very powerful yet, I want to say, almost insane or kind of off his rocker kind of Titan. But we'll see what happens with that, man. I'm excited so far about what this show is doing, what they're trying to line up. I hope this means they're going to tackle the Judas contract. I'm definitely there for that. Black Lightning season finale aired. The only reason I'm talking about that right now is because that there are rumors that Black Lightning, after just 3 seasons, which next year will be season 3, after 3 seasons will be canceled. Now, have I enjoyed this show? Somewhat. This show has been, it's been good. You know, sometimes the show can be just a little too woke, if you want to say that. It's a little too woke sometimes, but overall the dynamic of the show is great. I love the chemistry between Black Lightning and his daughters. I love how Tobias is just this badass bad guy. He's a criminal, but he's pretty much immortal, I think. I really, really want to see more of the DC lore fleshed out on this show. Hopefully they don't get canceled. I do want to see a lot more done on this show. They didn't really touch on the Outsiders aspect of it because as we know, Black Lightning is a key member of the Outsiders that Batman put together himself. So I'm definitely interested in seeing that come to fruition. But hopefully they don't get canceled. As we know, this is not only the show that's not only the one of the shows that are being canceled. Out of the Arrowverse, Arrow itself is being canceled after next year. So season 8 is its last one. It just looks like CW is over there cleaning house, and I'm not sure what's safe. I mean, a lot of these shows are dipping in ratings, so who's to say? The Arrowverse could be done. It could be done. You never know. Hopefully not. I thoroughly enjoy all these shows. But we will see. Speaking of CW cleaning the house, Supernatural is finally ending after 15 seasons. Now, I don't mean finally as in I hate this show. It's just the fact that this show is the only show left on the CW from the WB days. I mean, if you think back to the WB, you think about shows like Felicity, Smallville, the first run of Charmed, Gilmore Girls. And Supernatural has been the only show that has survived the culling, if you will, of the WB shows transitioning to the CW. Well, next year is it. So let's see what happens. I really hope this means that a lot of these characters on the show are now free to do other things. The internet and the fanboys out there have been clamoring for years to have Jensen Ackles play Jason Todd, the Red Hood, in some form or fashion. Ever since he voiced him in Under the Red Hood, we've been waiting for it. I wouldn't mind. I'm not against it at all. I'd love to see him play the Red Hood. All suited up. You saw that image he did back in Halloween on Instagram. It was amazing. That suit was superb. But I guess when you got the kind of money, you can do a cosplay like that. But anyways, Bill and Ted 3, Bill and Ted Face the Music. It has its release date. We're looking at the 21st of August next year. I'm not completely excited about Bill and Ted 3. The first two I enjoyed. I don't know. I guess it was a different time for me then. I wasn't really into everything geeky. I appreciate what it is and what it's done for the culture of geeks. To teach us all to be awesome to one another. But am I ready to go buy that pre-sale ticket? No. But I do want to see it. I will see it eventually when it comes out. Hopefully it's great. These guys have been away for a long time as far as playing these characters, Bill and Ted. They did have children in the last movie, I believe. They got married and had kids. So yeah, let's see how that goes. I think it's gonna be great. It'll be great. So that's all we have by way of TV and movie news. We're gonna jump now to what I call Thumb Life. Thumb Life is basically we talk about video games, man. When you get at home and you wake up in the morning or before you go to sleep at night, you grab that stick, you hit those sticks, and those thumbs get to tapping and removing and get grooving and then hitting the joystick and then moving that control pad and hit the buttons. Thumb Life. So, to jump right into it, releases this week we have Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Phenomenal game. This game looks amazing. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I haven't reviewed it myself just yet, but I have heard nothing but positive things from this game. It's one of those games probably going to come along, and I don't know. It should get some awards coming up in the award season for video games. IGN gave it a 9.5. I could not agree more. A lot of the gameplay videos I saw have just been amazing. Also, we have The Division 2 that came out this week. Tom Clancy had done it again with another solid hit. I believe it's available for all platforms now as well. So go get that one if you're into shooters. We have a story coming out that Disney is rumored to rebuild Lucasfilm Games. Now, if you haven't heard that name in a while, it's because you probably haven't heard it since the days of before Knights of the Old Republic. So we know that with Disney now acquisitioning all the stuff that they're taking over, and with Star Wars Star Wars has been in their wheelhouse for a hot minute now. Who's to say that they won't eventually go ahead and bring that publication back to life and give us some good quality games that we don't have to spend $500 for in DLC, EA. Yeah, still a little mad about that. But in other news, we have an unexpected Zelda game. Now, it's not what you think, but it could be awesome. So there's an independent developer, and they're putting out a game on Switch. It's an indie mashup with Crypt of the Necrodancer. It should be pretty awesome here. Cadence of Hyrule, available spring 2019. It looks pretty decent. I like it. It's going to be kind of a 2D pixel art, kind of similar to the Game Boy Advance days. But it's Zelda. You can't really go wrong with Zelda. I know I'm gonna play it, and hopefully you guys do too. So the last thing we got is a new game being announced. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid. I got a side-scroll fighter game coming soon for console and PC. Actually, very soon. We're talking about next week, actually. We got it coming out on the Switch and Xbox One on the 26th. If you got a PS4, you got to wait till the 28th. And if you have PC, actually, no. Refract that. We're waiting on Europe PlayStation 28th. Then in PS4 in America, April 2nd. And at some point this summer, we have it on PC. It looks pretty much exactly like the mobile fighting game that they have. So I'm not too excited for it, but we'll see what we get. If any of you all have been reading the comics of it, it may follow along with that storyline with Battle for the Grid. So that'll be interesting to see that happen. Other geek news, y'all. We got a new book released. It's called The Priority of the Orange Tree. For those of you who are fans of Game of Thrones, you may enjoy this one. It looks pretty decent. It's got pretty rave reviews. Go check that out at your local bookstore, wherever you buy your books from, whether it's Barnes & Noble, whether it's Books A Million, wherever you go. Or if you order on Amazon, if you order there, get that book. Just by way of also other announcements, we have upcoming conventions and cons coming up. If you are in Lexington, Kentucky right now, you're probably enjoying the Lexington Comic and Toy Convention. We've also got C2E2 coming up soon in Chicago. If you can make it out to the UK, we have Bath Comic Con coming out in Bath, UK. That's actually this weekend. Let's see what else we got. We got Planet Comic Con in Kansas City, and then of course next weekend we've got WonderCon. We got a big WonderCon coming up in Anaheim, and then we have in Delaware we've got Milltown Comic Con also coming up next weekend, and we got a few others coming out this week. Not this weekend, coming out in April. We got SupernovaCon and Gaming, Bangor Comic Con and Toy Con. We've got Hampton Beach Comic Con. And then we had the San Diego Comic Fest, not to be confused with Comic Con, also in April. And a few others. If you're ever in those areas, go out to those cons, support local. And hopefully you guys enjoy yourself and have a good time out there. That's all I got, by the way, for the close of the show here. I just want to know, what do you nerds think? Did you guys enjoy the show? Hopefully, I talked about something that you were interested in. I want to know what did I talk about that you enjoyed? What did you not care for? What did I fail to mention and you want to see me talk more about? Let me know what you think, guys, via social media. Hit us up on Facebook at DYSG Media. That's at DYSG Media on Facebook. You can hit us up on Twitter at _DoYouSpeakGeek. And again, at Instagram at DoYouSpeakGeek. You can also email me. doyouspeakgeekmedia@gmail.com. That is doyouspeakgeekmedia@gmail.com. Also, whenever you're out there sharing our stuff, man, I appreciate all the shares that we do get. But when you're sharing, please be sure to leave the hashtag DoYouSpeakGeek or the hashtag DYSG. That's it for my time, man. I'm going to get up out of here. I got things to do today. I'm pretty sure like all of you do too. Be on the lookout. We got an upcoming episode of the Daddy and Dono show where we're going to review Shazam. That's going to be fun. Be sure to subscribe, like, leave comments, hit that bell to get all notifications so you know what we're doing next. Thank you guys so much for listening. This is our first episode in the can. Man, I'm so excited. I'm glad you guys stuck in here. I just want to let you know that I speak geek. Do you speak geek? Thanks, y'all. Peace.